advantage.
And so for Kingdom here, remember that this is best out of 5. It will potentially go a little bit further. Kingdom will have to be winning more than just control point maps here, but it is going to feel pretty good for Kingdom if they start out here with a win on Nepal. Now, conversely, if Immortals is able to steal this away from them, I feel like I don't know if you favor Immortals at that point, but it definitely makes you wonder if they're just coming out much stronger as the day progresses. So I feel like a lot could be decided here on map 1, even though it is a best out of 5 series.
Well, this map 1 is starting off pretty well without a shot even fired for Kingdom, because we're at their best stage on this particular map as well. We will have to ask them what it is about these particular stages. This in Control Room they have looked so much stronger on than other maps, so it should be really good for them, and I think momentum will have a lot to do with it. Yeah, I think Immortals is going to have a tough road to go just based on some of the maps that we've already mentioned, and starting on Control is going to be difficult. As you mentioned, though, conversely, if they can steal the first one, that's going to maybe switch our view of the entire set.
Go with the Hanzo. I like the pick, take him off guard. Let's see what happens.
In reality, it's interesting too because I think he's been trying to expand his hero pool recently. He has been known more as a McCree player, but he's branching out, looking for more things. Right now, shooting some logs down the hallway, and I like the Hanzo pick on this particular stage, but Nomi finds himself going a little bit too deep. Jesus with the immediate punish, now 65. Kingdom gonna be a good position here, the counter push into Immortals. Hyped on the Juvenile, so both teams down to Reinhardt. We'll see what Jesus does here in the flank. No one's on him, and they could punish him severely if they paid attention.
Well, they both down their Roadhog now too, so both tanks going down very early. It's going to get really scrappy here on out, but Hype is cleaning up. Grim Reality adds in, but Jesus gets a couple of his own. This fight is not quite over just yet. It's right now. They've already flipped it over. This sneaky cap by Ajax already in there. It's going to get them a percentage, and now they're going to be able to reinforce and fight this and contest it the entire time. They still don't even lose Ajax over here.
I want to note that that's something that Kingdom does really well, perhaps better than most of the teams that they see, is that even though that fight was kind of starting to go on the losing end, they still made sure to get control, so they lost the fight, but they gained 27%. Have they really lost anything at all? It worked out very, very well for them, and now they're going to be able to come back in here. They're going to have a nano boost sound barrier. They can easily flip it back, and you take a look at this, despite winning that first fight, there's not going to be much to show for it on the side of Immortals if things go well here for Kingdom.
Not only that, but they also forced out a Ana ultimate based on the fact that they needed to kill the Lucio and clean that up so that they could actually get the point over and flip it clean.
Oh, here comes Jesus. Nano boost. Deadeye on the way. Everyone taking guard, but he finds Hyped. Hyped peaked. That is not the situation you want to peak in. 2 kills here from Kingdom, and they should be able to retake this, and they should... Again, even though they lost the first fight, they're going to be very quick to reclaim and take advantage. So, really good stuff here coming out of Kingdom.
Another wasted ult in that Earthshatter there. It was 1v4. He had no hope in that engagement there. They're just going to reset, jump off the edges here.
My goodness, 36% now to Kingdom. They'll have it evened up here in a moment, and now they're going to have momentum on their side. They're going to have a Graviton up for the next fight. They're not at all disadvantaged in ultimates, and they're still staggering the deaths here of Immortals. So I just really like how smart Kingdom has been in playing this game here thus far.
I mentioned how they're aggressive, but they're smart aggressive, and that's exactly why it works out for them. They know that they're aggressive, but they don't play dumb about it. They do help each other out when they're going to be aggressive, things like that. These ultimates are coming down through the doorway so far pretty well. This Agilities does find a couple here, throws Juvenile into the corner and cleans him up. Ajax is trying to manipulate the point yet again. He's been a tough out for the other team, but Nomi does find the clean up. They will flip it back around.
Now imagine where we would be right now, point-wise, if Immortals had played the first point a little bit smarter. Right. They would be in a situation where it would be down to the last push for Kingdom. Instead, Kingdom's going to get 2 attempts to bring this back. They're not under that much pressure, and to top it off, if they win the next fight, they're probably going to win the round. That said, you take a look at Immortals, they do have a pretty good position for them here. They're going to have Graviton into Dragon Strike. And if Hype sets up Grim Reality here, that's going to give Immortals 1 extra fight that they need, and they're going to be that much closer to winning this round.
Grim's been relatively quiet so far. I mean, not just showing up the kill feed, but must be chunking in damage and letting his team finish him off, as he's had a couple dragons up.
Well, Immortals right now giving a lot of rope here. Here comes the Graviton into the Dragon. Sound Barrier's out. How much is it going to save, though? It saves pretty much everyone aside from Juvenile, but Grim Reality moving in on these arrows, finds Ajax right after, keeping Immortals in the driver's seat. Now at 90%, this has turned into the last fight. for Kingdom, and they're not able to do much with it. Grim Reality coming in at the last minute with the big plays that Immortals needed.
This is great for Immortals, taking off one of the best stages from Kingdom on one of their best maps. This is exactly what they needed to start off this set.
I think the unorthodox picks on something like this, and even what we saw at a Splice yesterday, is definitely the way to approach a series when you're the underdog.
And one thing we haven't even touched on here is that Kingdom, that was usually their strongest point in a map like this.
Yeah,
exactly. They're really good on the indoor stages, so Immortals getting away with one here, now in a very good chance potentially to just take this map outright.
Well, we still have a couple more. It is best of 5 on King of the Hill, so we'll see what they want to break out, if there's any changes that come out of this Kingdom Team. I think it's a little too early on their side to change anything up. You know, when this map type is your specialty, regardless. Really cool stuff coming out from Immortals, though. We got double flankers, and Nomi's going to be playing a Winston too. So it's just a matter of if they can actually support Winston when he dives in. How well is he going to play Winston? Something like that. But a pretty interesting comp coming out from this Immortals spot.
One thing on Kingdom really doesn't like playing the high ground here on the stage. They've done it a few times. They're more than content to go low ground and force the other team to fight them on the point, and it's kind of working out. You look at the positioning here from Kingdom. It's, in this case, Agilities is able to take out Sherlocky early, but I do like the approach, if nothing else. It's still 5v5, and Kingdom, the chance of grinding it back out, but what a deflection by Agilities. Just destroys Jesus towards the end, but look at this.
That's what
Kingdom,
on the
even though they were
gets,
arguably losing the fight, they still get first control, and they have a chance of pulling it back just because of Van the Snow.
That's what fighting on the point gets you. And now they're already going to have that 15% again. And what was that? 2v, like, it was 2 kills to 2 kills. It wasn't one-sided in one way or the other, but they abandoned that fight. They're going to have reinforcements up here quickly. And now that they have control of the point, now they're going to take high ground.
This is so smart coming out from Kingdom. I can't understate
they
how...
understand this mode a lot. Yeah.
They're playing this really intelligently, and I think that's why they prioritize this. But here we go. Soundbearer coming out early on in the fight, going to protect everyone, leading to 3 very quick kills. Everyone dogpiling, and it's Wolf with the late fight. McCree cleanup. Going to be taking out both supports, so Kingdom right now doing super well.
I think we're starting to understand the intelligence of Kingdom here, and just I talked about a couple of fights they had on King's Row and earlier some of their series that they've had where they baited out fights that didn't necessarily need to happen, even against Cloud9 on Route 66 where they ultimately lost that map, but they won a fight that they shouldn't have because of just how smart they played.
Wolf right now staying in the back, has that coming up. Agilities though has already done all sorts of damage, just taken down 2, looking for a little bit more, putting Immortals on his back, has the 3K at the very end.
Well,
and that was the case where I think Wolf thought he was in a good position, but the fight took place a little bit away from him. He wasn't able to pressure Agilities and never had a chance to really stop him from just Ginsuing his entire backline.
Well, there's one thing that Overwatch has taught me is that Smart doesn't beat nano-boosted Dragon Blade. Not a whole lot does, and Agilities is still a great Genji. He's been expanding his hero pool as well, and I think it's smart that both of their DPS are doing so, but his Genji is still top tier, and they're going to have to find an answer for it at some point. Still ahead in this map, they're just going to rotate onto low ground, make them bring the fight to them once the Sleeping Beauty is woken. Wolf does get cleaned up, though. That's a bit of a mistake there. They could have rotated back and helped him.
Wolf being down that early, that should be it. A nano boost for good measure here on the Jesus. This still, though, for him to bring this back, that'd be ridiculous. Has 2 kills, looking for the 3rd, but is just outmanned, outgunned, 3 HP, good night. Nomi gonna finish that off, and Immortals bringing this right back. They're in a great position in terms of ults, and this is now pretty rough for Kingdom, where Kingdom probably gonna have to get up the next fight and then go for one final fight.
Yeah, the only way that made any sense is that Jesus was gonna switch, and that's exactly what he does. He's gonna go to Roadhog instead, because I know that's gonna be part of the answer to dealing with both Grim and Agilities on these flankers. They get caught up in an enormous graviton now.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. At the very least, it did cause some ultimates to be used there. I don't think Agilities actually need to use the Dragon Blade, so as far as junk rushes go, that's somewhat okay here for the offense. Now, they're still gonna have to deal with this Nano Boost, which could go on the Winston, could go on the Genji, but it could be much worse in terms of ultimates they had to deal with. If they had to deal with Dragon Blade on top of the sound barrier, it'd be rough, and that's what it is. They do Nano Boost Nomi. Nomi goes right in, finds Sherlock immediately. 2 quick kills, and Immortals looking like they've pulled this back. Gonna be up 2-0 here on Nepal.
Yep, they throw it on the sound barrier just for good measure, because no use taking it with you. Grim Reality grabs a couple on his Tracer, and as smart as we think that Kingdom is playing. They did get just kind of out-mechanicked here and there, a lot of it off the back of agilities, and a really nice grab time. I can't speak well enough about how hyped has been playing.
So, moving forward here, I'd like to see Immortals, even though they are up 2-0, just adapt a little bit. Don't give up the first point for free to Kingdom. They've just been letting Kingdom just saunter onto it, and they've been dancing in and about on fights where even if they win, they still kind of lose. So for Immortals, I'd like to see be a little bit more aggressive, but other than that, their mechanical skill has really been paying off here. Been somewhat of a quiet game for Wolf, I would say.
Compared to his previous games, I would completely agree. Even Jesus hasn't done as much as we're used to. The interesting thing as well is that Juvenile has not been as aggressive, and that's what won them a lot of the sets that we had last night. I think Man of Snow and Ajax are playing just as rock solid as they have, and Sherlocky's being fine, but I think if these guys are coming down to earth, maybe. I don't know if they all played better than normal last night. That's a good start, though. Taking on agilities is really going to help them. Juvenile misses his charge, but should not be punished too badly for it. They're going to rotate back out. They're not going to give up the first point for free, so listening to you at the very least.
They're listening to me, but they are starting to lose this fight right now. Wolf coming alive a little bit more, able to flank around the other side, getting all sorts of damage done on this Reaper, and they're going to muscle out the side of Immortals pretty early on here. But I mean, for Immortals, I still like what they did there. It didn't work out, but at least they didn't give it up for free, and they're going to be able to regroup and come back in pretty quickly.
I think the only reason they didn't is because that's the only place you really fight on this point. I mean, you do.
That's also true.
You always meet in the center here.
Well, Nomi right now almost has an Earth Shatter. It's going to be a very quick Earth Shatter relative to Juvenile here, so Nomi could crack this open for Immortals.
Yeah, Nomi, as Slasher mentioned earlier in the day, a bit of an unsung hero. His Reinhardt's been great for them lately.
Oh, but he gets charged right to the back. Doesn't quite get what he's looking for. Juvenile pays for that, but it does open up Wolf to get to the backline, takes him out. No Earth Shatter to speak of. Wolf, though, goes for a Death Blossom, gets nothing.
No one. There was no one there.
He literally just spun to intimidate. The most I could give about that.
It scared me.
It was intimidating, but overall, Kingdom, they're still going to maintain control at this point. The Hook's able to give them the ability to just pick off some of the stragglers, so they're going to be up a quick 50% to 0.
Yeah, they're finally coming a little bit alive on this point. They're going to have to dodge a bunch of ults, which will be incoming. Luckily for them, it's not going to be a boost, but they've got some answers of their own. They need to start bringing this back. This is a map we all picked them to win on.
Oh, here we go. Cleave combo on the table. Whole hog in the Graviton. 2 kills here from Jesus. I love how effective that combo is. Again, there's a lot of things you can combo with the Graviton. You don't see as much as, just Red Grim Reality, but Nomi, what a bro, coming in and saving. Stops a Roadhog in his tracks. Lets Grim Reality fight to live another day. And Grim Reality will be doing just that, coming in over the top. Takes down Wolf. Nomi with the hero play, really opening things up here for Immortals.
He's going to single-handedly grab them at this point and then keep them much more alive than they would have been previously. It's still down to probably one fight for Kingdom to have to win, but Nomi with the blind charge, taking out the Roadhog, opened that up completely, saving Grim Reality, who in turn ends up saving Nomi a couple different spots. They've got the ultimate advantage for sure, so this map, this stage are not over yet.
Grim Reality might have gotten 3 kills in there, but for me, my hero was Nomi, and we're going to take a look, though, Grim Reality, to start this fight. He's going to hide behind this Reinhardt shield, opening up with the Deadeye, looking for a skull, not going to get exactly what he's looking for. Offense of Kingdom did a pretty good job of rolling in. Defense going to counter here with the Sound Bear, trying to push them out, but nothing to really speak of just yet. And as Agilities dives into the backline, takes down 2 with Death Blossom, opens the way for the rest of Immortals. Nomi dropping the hammer. This will be the finisher here. Is this going to be Deja Vu all over again, where Kingdom starts out strong and then Immortals finishes strong?
It's kind of how it's looked the last 2 stages here, and we talked about it right before he nailed that enormous play. Nomi, unsung hero, he is having himself a game and a half. Reinhardt's loved Alienware monthly melee, I will tell you that much. Every time we tune in, we see something amazing out of Reinhardt.
Nomi right now just sitting around the back. Doesn't have an Earth Shatter, but just acting a little bit threatening. Meanwhile, you take a look at Kingdom. They do have Sound Barrier to set up this Death Blossom here if they want to go in that way. And oh my goodness, Chance finds himself way too deep. Shot to the back of the head by Wolf, but Agilities takes down Wolf before he can be supported. And now it's Kingdom on the hot seat. Kingdom's only needed to win 1 fight for a while now, but Immortals has just been board wiping them again and again and again. Yeah. And it's all going to come down here to this final fight as Immortals on the verge of going up 1-0 here in Nepal.
And Immortals in a much better position, I think, ultimate-wise. Here comes the grab. Oh, Agility's dying early there. Was really brutal for them.
Mana Snow taking that early. Graviton from downtown. Kobe. Mana Snow pulling them together. Wolf cleaning them up. And it's going to be Kingdom recapping this point and potentially staying alive to fight another round.
They were going to have to clean up a couple of stragglers as they try to rotate in and get some time on. Agilities is going to try to Wraith Walk onto this point and at least stall it out. Hype is coming from their right side, so they are buying time. And at this point, I'm not putting anything past Immortals.
This is where Immortals are in a rough position. They just have to throw bodies onto the point, hope for the miracle. If there's a miracle, it's going to come from Grim Reality, but not when Lucio punches you in the mouth.
Well, it's been Nomi who's done it all the time. He starts it off with one kill. Like I said, when you're in this situation, you need to start getting kills on one side or the other. He hits this enormous Earth Shatter, but there's not necessarily the follow-up. This Sound Barrier should spell the end of it, but now there's a Graviton coming out on the other side.
Oh my goodness, Graviton, the Nomi trying to be the hero, has to back up 3 HP. Will finally fall towards the end. Kingdom.
Made it exciting.
Gonna hold on, but yeah, I'll give you that. Immortals definitely making it exciting towards the very end.
Score 2-1.
My goodness. So,
And Nomi charge.
moving on to round number 4. This is, just think about this here. If Kingdom had just taken care of business and won what has been their strongest stage here in Nepal, they wouldn't have to worry about much here. They would be able to win this here and just, they'd be done. But now they just have to win this to stay alive and force a round number 5. So that's how important that first one was. And Grim Reality gonna be rocking the Hanzo once more.
Well, it seems like they have prayed back to RNGesus. All day yesterday, they rolled on the 4th map, Control Center and Sanctum, pretty much every time. Today, they were not so lucky in a few different occasions. We are back to Sanctum, which has been a good stage for them. They need this to keep this map alive, a map that, you know, we all expected them to win, but Immortals is just riding just on such a high. Grim with a blind shot takes out Ajax to start and likely just win this fight right away. That's your Lucio going down first. That is awful.
Losing the ability for AoE heals and speed boost. Pretty rough way to start, but Nomi getting a little bit over aggro here.
Yeah,
Jesus with the punish, and now they've opened things up. Agility's gonna get hooked, and Jesus pulling back Kingdom from the brink. They might have lost Ajax early, but suddenly it's gonna be Kingdom turning the tables. And note, by the way, that while they had an advantage, we didn't see any point capture coming out from Immortals, so they have 0 full-on goose egg to show for that early pickoff.
How to throw away a fight that you got everything you wanted in the first 5 seconds. Grim Reality is going to start it off again. It's another arrow on Man of Snow.
Grim Reality has been doing a lot to put his team on top. 2 early picks here between Hanzo and Roadhog. You'd think that would be it. Jesus looking for anything here to pull it back. Might be looking for a pull off into a pit, but here's the innocent thing. The way they're running their poke right now, they're keeping Immortals off the point, but uh-oh. Here comes the Dragon moving in off the Graviton, takes down Juvenile, puts Jesus in a rough spot.
Yeah.
It will be Immortals putting themselves back on the board.
Well, Grim Reality has had himself a really nice stage here. He's kind of come to life the last couple of stages here, and conversely, it has been a very quiet map, as you've already mentioned, for Wolf. So much so that he's just going to try to bust out anything. Here comes his Genji that he's toyed with several times tonight, has never spent really more than a life on it.
Not really, and we'll see how this works out here. Grim Reality still holding on to this Genji. Looking for pickoffs, and they're holding the choke here a little bit more aggressively than they have. They even have Agilities moving in. Nano boosted Roadhog. So much damage coming out. Doesn't have much to show for it. Is the play of Ana from Sherlocky keeping his team alive. And now, here comes Kingdom on the turnabout. They have a Nano boost up. Might just be going here to Jesus for a counter cleave. Jesus got to open up the whole hog. Does not have anything to show for it. Ends up eating the Earth Shatter instead. Great Earth Shatter in from Nomi to set up the rest of his team. Grim Reality with the immediate fall through.
I think Nomi was smart in his first instinct there of just not going in to try to fight this after his Earth Shatter. Now he's all alone, but they're unable to kill him. But he does make his team come in and try to help him out. Here comes a big Graviton onto the remainder of his team, but Sleep Darts are going to keep them alive as well.
Jesus able to land pick after pick there as the fight was breaking down. This is going to let Kingdom very likely retake this point, but here comes the Graviton Dragon. It's not over yet. That Dragon is hungry. 2 kills, now 3 for Grim Reality. Just going full on hero mode here. Agilities might have gotten thrown into the pit, but a little bit too low, too late. Immortals now 1 major fight away from taking this round, taking the map, and really putting Kingdom on the back foot.
This has been Grim Reality's round. He's just been crushing it from his early entry kills to his ultimates. They've been really decimating the other team. Give Hyped all the credit in the world, because Dragon isn't nearly as successful without those Gravitons.
Here comes Kingdom right now, getting the point. That's going to be Juvenile dropping the Earth Shatter, sending Nomi on a ride. Kingdom, their last stand right here, right now, but it's not going to be enough agilities. That nano boost whole hog doing so much damage towards the backline. No answer to be had from Kingdom. And Kingdom, what was once their stronghold, now where they lie down. Not able to take this inner sanctum on Nepal. And as a result, first map going to be going the way of Immortals.
Play of the match.
He deserves it. Even on his Winston, he had a great map.
Is that Mira? I think this is the Graviton into the multi-cleaver. You just got to sit there and have some fun.
Hold down that mouse button.
It's like a lifetime achievement award. Okay, guys, because he played so well on his Reinhardt on the other maps. They just gave him the play of the match.
So Immortals needed to win this map if they wanted a chance to win the series, and they do it, I think, in pretty dominating fashion. Grumiality going Hanzo worked both times, and Agility's got more picks than Wolf did. Making Wolf go Genji, I think on that final point, must have been a blessing for Immortals because he never even got sword one time to contest Grumiality. So I think if they want to try to continue to do that, maybe on the next King of the Hill, wouldn't be such a bad option. Of course, this was the best King of the Hill map for something like a Hanzo alt pick. You're not really going to have that opportunity on the other rounds.
So one thing we have seen from Kingdom is that even though they really like control maps, they do appear to be a little bit weaker on Nepal than they are on the different control maps. So they're going to be choosing Lijiang for their next point here. But if Immortals is able to take them out in Lijiang, gotta think the series is going to be going the way of Immortals before it's all said and done. Because just Kingdom to lose not once, but twice on control, you gotta think that's a death knell for them.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, Immortals won Lijiang. Kingdom won Lijiang earlier when these two played. So if they lose here, then they will be really worried losing on both of the King of the Hill. But I think you're still got to give Kingdom a reasonable shot here, considering even with their maps remaining, they probably have the advantage.
All right, so we are loading into Lijiang once more, and we're going to get an answer to some of this really early on as we do open up here on the control center. Right. Will Kingdom be able to reclaim their home territory, or has the side of Immortals figured them out?
Agilities is going to run Genji here. I would bet money on it. With Grim already on this Tracer, Agility's Genji's been great. It is a great Genji. Why you do this?
Right. I think if they were to, you would see Nomi back on Winston, because I think that also was a pretty good style change to play that second point for them to switch it up enough. And if they don't have Winston, Agilities probably isn't going to be able to get enough pressure on enemies first about it.
Well, I was totally wrong. Glad no one took me up on that bet. But they've done really well when they run double flankers. And I've always said, like, especially when we watch FaZe, that this stage in particular, I think, is really good for Genji just to mess around in these little corridors and things like that. So, but he is going to play the Reaper. Grumiality will play the Tracer, though, so they've still kind of choosing to play their flanking type heroes. Kingdom has a very specific rollout here. They take this corner. Juvenile will be charging almost momentarily. Generally, that's what they do. If they can get the bubble onto him, he's going to look for picks.
This feels a little bit different from Immortals, where they're being much more aggressive, getting onto point earlier. They're not really conceding that much space here, the Kingdom. As both teams right now jockeying for position, poke relatively even between both teams, but it's going to be Hype that falls first. Mana Snow able to get away with no HP in that Zarya battle. And now, with extra shields supporting them, Kingdom in a great position. They're going to force Reaper out. They get 2 kills now, 2 unanswered kills, I might add. So for Kingdom, nothing flashy, just good, solid mechanical gameplay that's going to push it out. And Juvenile's over aggro there works out in his advantage.
Yeah, that's how they were so dominant yesterday. Also of note that Sherlocky got that boost up that early, able to buff his team, and that boost can snowball so hard as Juvenile's going to have his Earth Shatter up. That's why they're holding so far forward. Takes Agilities down immediately. Agilities crunched against the wall. Here comes Nomi to try to help out. Now Nomi's in a bad spot.
Nomi really nowhere to go right now. Is getting healed up by Ana. Just broke line of sight, however, so he's still in a bit of a rough position. Finally does get dropped. Beat gets dropped here from Immortals. I'm not sure about this, though. Big Bang Combo, though. Will it connect? Big Bang Combo comes in. Only ends up taking out one. The counter sound barrier, keeping everyone relatively healthy. Turning into a bit of a slobber knocker between both teams. Everyone fighting out here. Agility's trying to turn this right back over, and will. So Immortals pushing out Kingdom here, they're going to be taking control of the point, but not before about 50% has been done.
Yeah, 50%, so it started off really well for Kingdom, rather, but we've seen them start off maps pretty good. Now, not so much in the dominant fight fashion that they have, they're going to have their combination up of themselves. Jesus already looking for it, either trying to boost him, he's looking for the right angle, there it is.
Is going in agilities though, going to get slept, taken out by Sherlock, and Grim Reality gonna have to be the hope and dream right now with agilities dead. We've seen Grim Reality pull up bigger miracles, has 2 kills, and he's still looking for more.
Somehow during that though, they did end up taking the point back over.
They took the point back over, but Grim Reality, look at this! He's being a surgeon right now, going to have 4 kills on this Tracer! Oh my goodness, ends up taking down Ajax.
Almost ready.
What a joy to watch. That was amazing. That fight was won by Kingdom, but because they didn't contain Grim Reality, he picked them apart.
He has, you know, you mentioned he's trying to expand his hero pool, and his Tracer looks like it's set.
The Big Bang combo, just to add on a little bit more, has another 4K back-to-back here for Grim Reality. Hex, hold me.
I know you and I are both big Tracer fans, so this is absolutely a joy to watch. You're right, and that is another pretty big cleanup. It's going to be just about even by the next time they fight, and if Immortals can keep taking away stages like this, just based on some individual great plays, I think Kingdom's in some deep trouble.
Absolutely. Here comes Kingdom, though. Back again. They're going here with the nano boost. Agilities getting to the back line, however, in turn, ends up taking down 2. Oh man, things are going from bad to worse here for Kingdom. Kingdom now going to be down to what could be their last push here in just a moment. Love the nano boost, but not a whole lot else. And you take a look at Grim Reality, you'd be surprised if he just goes for the early pulse bomb just to stagger this even more.
Now you might as well, because by the time the Graviton's up, you're going to have another very easily. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a blink in and try to get out. But this is kind of a situation where you just give the boost to Jesus, and he'll have Death Blossom by the time that he needs it. That's their only hope right now.
Samara coming in here from the offense. Kingdom's hopes and dreams on the line. Agility's Drake's down. Juvenile very early on that fight. Jesus trying to pull it back, but Agility's being the force they can't deal with. Still at full HP, is taken down 2, rolls in from the flank, and Hex, this might be it for this round. Immortals pulling it back once more.
They look good, and it was a very odd pathing from Jesus. I think the timing was a little bit off. They boosted him right into Wraith form, and he didn't really go around the backside, but that's a lot of it credit to Immortals as they were split up pretty big, not allowing themselves to die to a big Death Blossom. There's points in fights where you realize, what is the one thing that throws us this stage? And it's like, oh, if we all die to this Death Blossom, that's going to throw the stage. So they split it up. They had 2 people in every different path. There was no way that more than 2 people were going to die to Jesus' boost right there.
Gotta say, with Immortals able to take away Kingdom's home field territory in those indoor maps, it's looking pretty grim. Pun kind of intended. Look at grim. But this entire game has been looking grim. Thank you, Slasher, just for chiming in with the ha-has. Like, it silently entirely was like, by the way.
Well, I mentioned earlier in the day that this might be the tournament where Kingdom really finally arrives. And right now, based on what we saw Immortals do to LG and what they're currently doing to Kingdom, maybe it's Immortals Day.
Immortals definitely looking strong here. They want to get that rematch up against C9. And you take a look at Immortals, I feel like they're learning and adapting as we speak here. Look at their position on the point where they don't let Kingdom have their way right now. They just get on the point. I think they've had enough of Kingdom getting free capture here, despite how smart Kingdom is playing it. Both teams really trading off poke here. They look for an edge, and Hype's gonna be the first one to get pick off. Opened up there by Nomi. It's a little bit back and forth. Pulse Bomb comes in late into the fight. 4 versus 4 on the point. And Wolf right now trying for a little bit of Tracer heroism on his own, but he is only 10 HP.
Yeah, the boost onto Jesus should clean this up for the side of Kingdom. It will be, what, the 5th stage that Kingdom has captured the point first? Has not really mattered all that much, to be honest.
Alright, so Kingdom right now, we'll see if we can hold it this time. I mean, they've been capturing first all night long, but once Immortals gets in, they don't really give up, and the Graviton setting up Agilities, just cleaving through, gets the hook for good measure. What great play coming out for Agilities here, man, just to fully wipe things up. Immortals retaking control, and this has been where Kingdom has struggled, actually recapping these points, at least over the last 2 maps.
Gonna see which angle they want to take. That is gonna slow things down as Mana Snow had the initiation ultimate they wanted. Graviton dies to gravity. She is a cruel and fickle mistress. What giveth does taketh away, as he is now at the bottom of the koi pond, and it's going to slow down their next push. They do have the tools they need to get back in, but they have to be very careful of Agilities, who is just not missing hooks right now.
I think Agility is also hoping to go to the bridge so he can just knock them off. Here comes the whole hog. He's going to try and stay alive. Wolf gets two with the Big Bang combo, so Agility is just hoping that knocks one off. Did he get Reaper? No! Jesus able to save himself. Stays on the point. 3 kills here from Kingdom. Not quite what Agilities was hoping for, so Kingdom able to retake the point, and one of the harder maps to do it on too, so perhaps Kingdom fixing some of their mistakes.
Yeah, they're good position right now, and Alter just about evened up on both sides. It does look like Agilities is looking for the hook to start that off. He wanted to hook from the other side of the bridge, bring someone into their unceremonious death. They are just going to push bridge side now. Of course, always have to be very careful. Nomi's the one who gets the boost, but here comes Jesus spinning into the backside. A great dart is going to put him to sleep.
Poor Jesus taking a nap. Ends up getting taken out by Grim Reality and Road Dogg together. Can't even Wraith form out, and it's Immortals bringing it right back. Grim Reality being nothing short of vicious right now. What a beautiful series of kills there. Ends up taking down 4. Pinpoint accuracy. My goodness.
Grim has been something to watch. We talked earlier today. He was a little bit quiet, but Agility's picked it up for him, and no one needs to pick anyone up right now. They're all just playing very well. Grim especially so. His Tracer last round, his McCree this round. Yeah, the hero pool is expanding, and that should terrify every other team in North America.
Deadeye coming out here from Grim Reality. Hook comes in, was looking for it. Doesn't get too much off this Deadeye, but did do a little bit of Wolf towards the very end. Set him up for the kill. And this is looking like it's going to be over before it begins here for Kingdom. Just getting pushed right back. And Hex, this is going to give Kingdom down to their very last push. This Grim Reality turning into a shooting gallery. What in the world does Kingdom need to do to switch this up? Because they're just feeling outclassed right now.
Well, it'd be nice for Kingdom if they had a Genji to maybe try to pressure Grim Reality or something along those lines. They need to start hitting hooks with Wolf. I mean, both of the things they need done are what Wolf should be doing for them. Or he could maybe go to McCree. They can try to out-McCree it. I think that'd be a terrible choice too. It's almost to the point though where when someone's playing this well that there isn't much of an answer, you know?
Agility's right now looking for the final kill on the Ana. Not that it matters at all. A beautiful combo towards the end. Graviton into Whole Hog. And it just feels like Immortals have been playing much, much tighter. Really good coordination on their ultimates coming out the entire time. And Grim Reality just absolutely having beastly moments left, right, and center.
Immortals has done more with Agility's Roadhog than Kingdom has. And that's always big when you find that. Either you get picks, and you open up fights 6-on-5, 6-on-4, 5-on-4, or you just feed ult for the entirety of the game, and it makes
and maybe someday you could learn to handle a real weapon.
I think I've got
Alrighty, so we are going to be moving on here into the night market. For Kingdom, I really feel like, again, this is best out of 5, but this very well could be their swan song here. If they don't take this round, they don't take this map, I just don't see them pulling off the reverse sweep, so this is really a must-win situation for them.
Yep, this stage going to decide it all, and already they're on the point. Wolf does take out Grim, so that is a great first pick for them. 2 kills right away, and that is enough for Immortals to pull back and try to get out of here alive. The chase is on, though, as Jesus does take out Agilities, so you could not have a better start to that fight in a must-win situation, like you mentioned, taking care of the problem with the person who should be taking care of it. So that maybe if you needed confidence, that brings it back for you.
Absolutely, and for Kingdom, this is where they just need to hold it here. They've done really well at getting the first 50% all throughout the series, but then something breaks, they can't bring it back, and oh no, Agilities saving Grim Reality. Grim Reality was about a half second away from getting one shot, but now the gates are open. Grim Reality going to be unchecked, should be able to get the cleanup here as Immortals starting to wash over Kingdom like a wave.
There's been so many times where the team play has been what is making them win these fights. If it's hype giving you a shield, but more than once, it's not only that, at protecting hooks. The reason that agility is getting so much more done on his Roadhog when he plays it is that when Wolf hooks someone, they either kill him or he gets shielded or he gets charged. They have made his life miserable on Roadhog. That is a hook that he is happy to hit. It's not an easy hook that he just hit. And then they know it right away. They call hook and he gets shot in the face and he's never able to finish these things.
Oh my goodness, the pain continues. Nomi with the Earthshatter knocking down 2. Jesus trying to pull it back though, moving in. Pushing things back a little bit here, and Kingdom actually gonna zone this out a bit. They get the kills they're looking for towards the very end. And this is what they need to do. At the very least, they need to be comfortable in pulling these fights back because they've done really well at starting out in these matchups, but they've done very poorly at bringing things back as the things drag on. And now let's take a look at Agility's Ultimate Bank fully set up here for Immortals. Here comes the Graviton, and Wolf taking down Agility, stopping that follow through.
Beautiful stun as well to keep them alive through that grab. Now Jesus is ready for the cleanup. That is a fully won fight for Kingdom, and now they're going to be about 60%. And yes, these fights have gone generally their way, but even when they're devolving, they're going the way of Kingdom. But the good thing is, Immortals only had to use the Graviton. They didn't end up wasting much else there, and they did drain a couple other ults out of Kingdom. So they are in good position to bring this back, but they have to win this next fight for the most part.
Here comes Agility's right now, full on beast mode, but he's going to get stopped by the Graviton, not getting anything off the sound barrier or nano boost. That's what needs to happen, but still, it lasts for long enough that later into the fight, he's able to pick off the double kill, and Kingdom still might be falling here on this point to the onslaught of Immortals, despite the response that came out.
They had too much to work with, that even when they were gonna get held up in the Graviton or anything like that, they still had 5 ultimates, they had sound barrier, they had everything they needed. So it was gonna take an error for them to lose that fight, and so far in the last 2 hours, we've not seen Immortals really making mistakes. So not super surprising they brought it back. They are still very much down on this stage. Kingdom still has a great chance at winning this stage and keeping their map hopes alive.
For now, they're all going around the left. That's dangerous. You really puts you at risk of getting booped off, but Jesus, punishing Agilities early on here. 3 kills here from Kingdom. And now it's do or die here for Immortals. Grim Reality, he's had some hero moments, but that's too much to ask. Just him versus the world, not going to happen. Gonna be Kingdom pulling it back, 2-1. Must-win situation for them. They take it, but they still have to win the next 2, one after another here, Hex. So not out of the woods here just yet.
2-1.
Not at all, but that looked like a different Kingdom team. They just looked a little stronger, a little more coordinated. They got a little less aggressive, I think. They weren't chasing as hard. They weren't trying to initiate as hard. They kind of let it come to them because they've both been playing aggressive at each other. I think that's in Immortals' response to how Kingdom plays, so that Kingdom's responding on that, and they're trying to play a little more passively, let them make a little bit of a mistake, and then try to clean up on it. Also, I think their mechanics were a little tighter there.
Indeed. So, take a look here. Normally I'd say that this is bad luck for Kingdom, but given how they've been doing on indoor maps, maybe they're okay with this here. So it goes. This is where Grim Reality, though, went absolutely off here on the Garden. So he's running McCree again, and why not with the performance he had last time? Coming out from Kingdom, you gotta be looking at options to just suppress him, throw hooks at him, throw Jesus at him. Why not? Wolf, though, able to take down Nomi right away. So Kingdom, again, starting strong. This has been their MO.
Yeah, and when your Reinhardt goes down, that makes your McCree's life that much rougher. That's how bad his life was. He's going to Quentin Thompson right off the edge there, take a bath into the pool as they reset the map.
So Kingdom, strong start once more. Ultimate-wise, the next fight's still going to be pretty even, but Wolf will have positioning edge here on the Roadhog. We'll be looking for hooks either off the ledge or just like into his team behind the bridge. And Kingdom, they're more than willing to just let this fight drag out here, but Immortals is not. They get the hook on the Wolf. Goodbye, Wolf. 6v5, here we go. But Grim Reality falling early. Mana Snow able to get the first takedown, so we'll see if it's enough, but Agility's picking off where Grim Reality left off.
What a strange
Has 2 kills, for good HP, and should be able to clean up the rest of this fight.
What a weird fight to where it occurred. I've never seen a fight actually happen just all in that corner on the staircase. Sure, like he actually 1v1 Nomi there during that fight. He's still having a great game. He just takes down Chance as well, so the Ana trying to bring it back for him. They're not ready to give this up as the Earthshatter comes in. Wolf is now respawned. That's how long it got dragged out. All the work that Sherlocky did was able to get them a boost. They're going to clean that up. A nice hook there, so Kingdom bringing that back. It does look like that Immortals have everything.
I feel like I just watched like some old school gladiator program there between both Reinhardts swinging axes at each other on the edge. One person falling off the bridge. Is that the type of Overwatch we really want to watch right now? And the answer is yes.
All right, well, already at 70%, we're getting down to it being one of the last chances here. They're going to actually break up and run a 2-squad, and they're already on the point with their Reinhardt and Lucio. They do get the Earthshatter in, but now they open up the gate for the other team. Here comes Agility's boosted in.
Both Reinhardt's trading off here on the point. Sound barrier in here from Immortals as they try and crack it back open. Agility's already has 2, and nothing is stopping Grim Reality here in the back. Looking very likely like this is going the way of Immortals, but Jesus at the very end. I did say throw Jesus at Grim Reality. Kind of works out, but unfortunately, just too many people had died early on that fight. Immortals going to retake it. And normally I'd say this is a bad situation for Immortals, but the way this is going, Hex, I kind of feel like they have them right where they want them.
Yeah, there's been several times that Immortals has pulled the map back for them in good situations, but this one feels a little different. 95 seems like a number that you should be able to deal with. They need to win one fight, so they're looking for the ideal fight right now. They went in there. It is not going to be ideal as Jesus goes off the edge. They're going to have to wait and reset. They've got the time to do it. Don't make a mistake by trying to be hasty. You can just wait for your ideal moments and then go in. You have an ult advantage. You can even charge a couple ults. They might be waiting for Sherlocky into Jesus. That has been a play-making and map-winning game for them all day.
Alrighty, so Agility's right now still hanging out in this area, looking for the hooks that will result in an auto kill. Not much that can save most heroes from the terrible effects of gravity. Agility's right now, oh my goodness, that was almost a great hook. Does not connect, and Jesus is there. Immediate punish coming in from Kingdom. This is what Kingdom's needed, the flank play working out. They don't all go in over the bridge, and they're rewarded. 3 kills to 1 in Kingdom's favor. And now at 97%, this is do or die here for Immortals. They must get back on this point. We are into overtime. Now with Grim Reality falling, Agility's nowhere near the fight. It is going from bad to worse as Man of Snow just cleaning up the stragglers.
Yeah, Man of Snow's been having a great Zarya tournament so far. It's a little too much there. He does get his Graviton off, not quite exactly where he wants it. Not going to clean up anyone, but it does set up for a hook onto Agility's. Agility is going to be the one who hooks second, but gets help from his friends over there. That is going to be too little too late as Kingdom has woken up.
2-2. Kingdom here, arguably their tournament life on the line, just because losing this here would be catastrophic. They'd much rather it read 1-1 than 2-0. They're gonna have to bring it here in the night market where, again, do I dare say that Kingdom is getting good RNG here? Where they've been so rough on the indoor maps, which is weird. Maybe this is a good thing for them.
I would tend to agree. I think, you know, whatever's happening for them is a twist of fate, because it used to be they were great on those indoor maps. So far, not so much, and they brought this back from the brink, and they really need this map. As I totally agree with you, if they lose this map, I cannot see them winning 3 in a row to beat Immortals to move on to the grand finals.
All right, so Kingdom right now setting up once more. Again, they just go straight to the point. They don't go for the open fight here. They don't go for high ground fights. They don't go for courtyard fights. They just want to get directly onto the point early on, but they are getting punished for it in spades. Agility's and Grim Reality, the Bash brothers of Immortals coming in with the first 2 pickoffs. Nothing flashy about it, just caught Kingdom out of position.
The cause and effect of very small things. Man of Snow got a little distracted, out of position. That means that Juvenile got charged, knocked at the bubble. That means he got killed. That means the shield goes down. Everyone else gets cleaned up after.
Agility's right now just hanging out here on Reaper, gonna camp the corner, waiting for people to just rotate over, and I think he thinks they're coming out of the wrong corner. He's like, wait a second, what? Kingdom very determined not to go into the courtyard here early on, but they're getting poked down. The Earth Shatter sets them up so well. This is a no-go zone, says Nomi. Death and devastation coming out here from Immortals, just mopping them right up, and Immortals now 30% on their way. They win this round, be in a very good position to get that matchup versus Cloud9.
Yeah, it has been all Immortals on this stage for sure, and they're going to have to be pushing into an ultimate disadvantage as Kingdom. They're going to try a different angle here all the way around. Kingdom, what I will say, they try different angles on every map. They find angles I've never even seen teams take.
Look at this crowd thumbs up by Height, pulling in just about everyone. It's Grim Reality, it's high noon. 3 people just drop. Grim Reality makes it a 4th, headshot after headshot. RIP Man of Snow. And now Immortals feeling the victory rush right now here, Hex. 1, maybe 2 fights left remaining here for Kingdom Esports, and they're not working with a whole lot.
They've had no ultimates really to speak of all game and just been pushing into it. That's how one-sided these fights have been. Sherlocky's going to have boost. Jesus is going to have the Death Blossom as well. Like I said, that's been the game-saving ultimate for them before, but now when Jesus gets Death Blossom by himself, it's just all the way bad.
So, technically, they can bring it back here. Maybe. They're gonna need something to just run in. Oh no, Sherlocky, not like this. He was just getting some food at the corner stand, man. Never like this. Grim Reality and the Immortals just mopping up the rest here. 97%. Even if Ajax hits the point, which he won't, it's not gonna be enough. And it's gonna be Immortals taking the second map here. Kingdom backs against the wall. Gonna have to go for the reverse sweep, and I didn't really expect Immortals to be this strong going in. Gotta hate that, by the way. He was going for the pickoff to drop him into the pit. He got one little toe onto the ledge, and then did so much more. A little bit of an unfortunate time there for Wolf.
I mean, Immortals have won both of Kingdom's best maps, and they have put themselves in an incredibly good position to go on to the grand finals. Even though Kingdom was able to push it back to a 5th round, Immortals really kept their composure to beat them, 100-0 on the 5th round. And Immortals did play better overall than Kingdom, even though I think Kingdom was finally able to adapt in rounds 3 and 4. Their Roadhog just did more than Kingdom.
Can't really argue with that. I think when you take a look at Agility's Roadhog play, it was on point. He was dropping people in the pits. He was living in situations that he shouldn't have lived in. Made things very, very rough for Kingdom. And now Kingdom, it's going to be rough here. They are ready to go. We're going into Route 66 here. Maybe. Chance said he needed 5 minutes. So if he really needs 5 minutes, might have to fill for just a little bit.
5 minutes? Who needs 5 minutes for anything?
Bonesaw only needed 3 minutes, Hex, so I agree with you.
We live in an instant world. What is he, cooking a gourmet meal? 5 minutes.
5 minutes, gourmet meal. That you can heat up at least like 3 things of ramen in that time.
3 Hot Pockets, that's gourmet.
3 Hot Pockets. 5 minutes, that's like...
What, you eat those Hot Pockets?
No one eats Hot Pockets.
4 sets of pizza rolls?
Hot
Listen, Totino's, we're giving this to you for free, but... our door is open. Just please walk right in. This is free selling out, but we should be selling out here for, of course, this Alienware, where they make some great laptops. Hex, I've been enjoying my Alienware laptop. How about you?
My Alienware laptop's great, man. Like it still runs everything I throw at it. I barely play other games, but my new game now is installing everything that I have on Steam. All the millions of dollars I've spent and installed 2 games on my Alienware laptop, jacking up the settings and see if it'll take it. And that's like my kind of meta game. Can this play the game? It handles everything. It's insane. It's got like 980 eminent battery life's rad. I love that laptop. And yeah, the funny thing is just stressing hardware for me. That's my new game, is actually installing my Steam games for once. And will it run on the laptop? Yes, it will.
So you spend more time downloading games and installing them than actually playing them.
I got data capped.
He's a collector.
I got data capped by a anonymous internet company, and so I have to pay for unlimited data now. And if I'm paying for unlimited data a certain amount of money a month, I'm gonna make it hurt their pipeline that they wanted to charge me for. So whatever, I'm downloading constantly.
For data?
Yeah, I have to pay for unlimited data on my unlimited plan. Welcome to the new world.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing that's sort of scaring me, is that I am also under this new draconian Comcast data cap, and well, let's just say, like, I haven't really looked into specifics. I'm just glad I'm gonna be gone for a decent portion of November.
It's 1,000 gigs.
But it might be bad, dude. Like, the overage fees could be on their way. I don't really know.
Yeah, I bit the bullet, and I'm like, you can just have whatever much more money you want a month, so I don't have to worry about it. Like, it's so much, like, I spend most of my money on paying for things just to not worry about, and it's like, it's just stress relief. So here's your whatever you want a month. I'm just don't have to worry about how much data I spend anymore. So now that I'm paying for it, like, I'm just going to use data recklessly. I don't care. So I use
what is reckless data used, Hex? Like, what constitutes reckless data use for you? Just gonna hit up every Torrent website in existence and just like...
and stuff I will never install or view or anything. Like, what, 500 gigabytes of some Blu-ray of some show that was on in the 50s? Yeah, let's do it. Let's set that to queue. Don't care. Don't care.
You know, you might be a hoarder, right? Like, this is a problem.
digital hoarder.
They could make a TV show about you right now.
Well, luckily that's not going to be the case, as Chance is now ready. Let me double check and make sure that Kingdom is still ready.
Nope, Juvenile just said not ready. So it's contagious, dude. One person goes to the bathroom, goes to get food, takes care of their essentials, and suddenly it just spreads.
Well, what do you think on Route 66? Let's do some speculation here.
By the way, they've also made a television.
Oh, they were just joking. What's that?
All right,
they've made a commercial about you. You wouldn't steal a television.
Oh.
Hey, look, we're not supporting any form of piracy.
No, it's mostly freeware and Linux distributions.
I mean, you can never have too many Linux distros.
Route 66, I expect kind of similar to how they've been running before. They doing the Reaper McCree or Reaper Roadhog or McCree Roadhog. I mean, maybe down 0-2 we see something kind of interesting coming out from Kingdom, but I expect it to still be rather standard.
I would guess the same here, and the way the Immortals is playing, like, I don't think Immortals needs to do anything crazy. Grim Reality and Agility has been playing out of their mind. Chance and Ithan, again, unsung heroes. We don't give support as much love as we probably should, but I don't know if you guys have noticed throughout this, but Chance has been one of the hardest kills where he doesn't really die early on in fights, except with one clarification. Sometimes he does end up deep in enemy lines for like no reason and just dies, but other than those times, which it's maybe once every 2 maps, he's pretty good about not dying early.
Yeah, he's been a hard out, and you always want your Lucio to be the most difficult person to kill. That's your job as Lucio 90% of the time is just stay alive unless there's a pit someone needs to be thrown into. Right now, it does look like Immortals is just going to walk up to the front door, see what they can see, peek what they can peek, and then back out of there. Do you think they actually run this Hanzo here, Man of Snow and Hanzo? It seems like it wouldn't be him who'd run it.
Just the scatter.
Yeah, I think this is where Kingdom knows their own brand of shenanigans, right? Where they know that people could be standing in there. They're going full Kai here, where... Oh.
I did launch an arrow.
He also didn't actually hit. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but either way, there wasn't anyone in that train car anyways. So,
luckily,
here comes Kingdom. And it's going to be Jesus again, creeping along Big Earls. This is the exact approach he always takes. Yeah. I think we've seen this now like 4 times in this tournament. 3-4 times. Always takes the same approach here on Roadhog.
Well, the nice thing is if you can get anyone, it doesn't even matter if it's Nomi or something, then you just reorganize the fight to the fight being reorganized now, but the defense finally collapsing on top of them. Nomi the first to go down here. Chance goes down next after Jesus hits another couple hooks.
Jesus lighting the way through here. Score was a little bit messed up. It is 2-0. And it's going to be Grim Reality, though, still holding it down for Immortals, getting a pick off towards the very end, giving some life to this team where, you know, Immortals would love nothing more than to get a first point hold here on 66, and we have seen that here in this tournament. Of course, Grim having to back out a bit.
But the rest of his team playing very tentative in the back lines, not able to come in and support him and capitalize. They had, that fight was even at the worst case of scenarios, and they still didn't roll in on that. Then Juvenile died late. That is not a great first push. It's going to be Jesus looking for another pick onto Hype, but Hype's got different ideas, able to dodge that. And despite 3 kills out of Jesus there, they got very little progress.
And it's a little bit rough. They've already burned through a minute and a half. Ultimate situation is pretty good. Here comes Grim Reality over the top. Deadeye up. Skull's moving in, and it is absolutely nap time. Does not quite get what he's looking for. And yet the Graviton still grew people up in such a way that Immortals is still able to take advantage of the opportunity.
They used a lot of ults there on this defensive hold. They used them aggressively, which is fine, but that means that this should be the best fight, maybe of this first point for Kingdom here. They've got everything that they want. It's only agilities with his Blossom up. They even used the boost there too, so there's nothing going on for this defense as far as ultimates go. So this is the situation that you want to be in offense, but this is a fight that if they lose, it's going to be grim.
I see what you did there. All right, so you see Agilities. Oh my goodness, coming right in. Catches 3 people immediately. Surprise Reaper in the corner. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise at this point, but definitely catches Kingdom off guard. And we might be seeing the end of Kingdom here. I don't know what it is. They might just be gassed, but Immortals has been holding all the cards. 1:30 remaining here. And it's going to be rough as Hyped has Grouton up again. They have Soundbear on the defense. There's a few options here for the offense, but it's hardly guaranteed.
Let's remember these last 2 map picks at the very least were Immortals or were Kingdom's map picks. They've chosen these battlefields and they have looked outclassed.
Grouton in from Hyped, pulling in 3 once more. Agilities getting down and dirty, picking up 2. Do have the nano boost in the whole hog, but just lacking a little bit of swagger that we saw earlier on in the day. Jesus not picking up too much from it. Teams adapting as the day goes on. And this is getting quite grim here for the side of Kingdom, where you take a look at it, the 45 seconds remaining. This is going to be their final push here, Hex. And again, it's not like they have an overwhelming advantage, but they need to find some way of pulling this back, because if they get held here, it's almost certainly going to be GG.
Juvenile's had a quiet set so far, and he has a moment that he can possibly prove himself. The unfortunate thing is despite using ultimates in every sort of position, they are out. They're going to be facing against Agilities right now in the back lines.
Brutality coming in from Agilities, ends up with 4. And that is going to slam the door shut on this Kingdom team. Bit weird to see Kingdom come out as weak as they did after how strong they were looking all throughout the day, but 5 seconds left remaining. This is all but over here.
Maybe it's just Immortals. I don't know. That's as good as they played against LG. I mean, maybe we could chalk that up to LG. At this point, maybe it's Kingdom playing poorly, but Immortals might just be believing that they are the best team in this tournament, and they're playing like it.
They certainly are, and just I don't really know much more to say there, except for the fact that Immortals is playing out of their mind. It probably makes LG look a little bit better by proxy, because they're doing to Immortals, or they're doing to Kingdom right now, effectively what they did to LG. So either way, it's going to take a Herculean defense and a great turnabout here for Kingdom to somehow win the series, let alone winning this map, which is going to be difficult in and of itself.
Well, on the line is their hopes to go to the finals against Cloud9, who's been patiently waiting up there. Of course, Cloud9's probably rooting for Immortals just because they wanted to play as soon as possible, and Immortals trying to take this 3-0. I don't know. This is a very, very difficult situation. If Kingdom has anything left, they have to dig deep right now and stop them from ever doing anything, really. And it looks like, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they roll out the Bastion. When you only have to go that certain amount of feet, it opens up some doors. They've seen Cloud9 do it on this map. And
but will they go full Torbjorn?
One can hope. You put Bastion.
I personally would love to see the Aardvark.
Yeah, you put Bastion on top of the cart, and then you put Torb building a turret below him, and you just make a tank. Seems fair. There's no Reinhardt, unfortunately, so that's the only flaw with what I just said is that there's no Reinhardt. You need armor on your tank.
Yeah, not having a Reinhardt for the Bastion, that would be a little bit much, and sadly, Bastion not coming out here. They're gonna run it standard. I think they sense victory in sight. They're not going for anything too crazy. I think they just hope that worst case scenario, Agility's Nano Blade will carry the day. And he space jumps to start things out.
Why not? All right, so Ajax is on the Zenyatta, which is something that they've run really, and who knows what he's going to be in for here. This is going to be the hold of a lifetime, and maybe the beginning of an enormous comeback for Kingdom.
I am ready.
Kingdom, they're gonna have to have just an absolute miracle come out here. They cannot lose a single fight. One fight lost, it's gonna be over. Jesus right now looking for shots of the chance, not able to hit him, just getting juked all the way out. Agilities, meanwhile, not getting juked out. Already is taken down effectively too. Falls down the Sherlocky, but momentum not on Kingdom's side. This is looking like the death march here for Kingdom, and the victory run for Immortals. They're moving up the payload. Will they get that matchup with C9? They absolutely will. Kingdom going down in flames, not winning a single map here versus this newly revitalized Immortal squad.
1-0.
Not much to say. just outclassed in every stage of the game. And like I said, those were maps that, one, we thought they won the draft. Two, Immortals was able to choose the last couple maps and just, or not Immortals, Kingdom was able to choose the last couple maps. And Immortals maybe just leveled up since even earlier today. They are playing with an enormous amount of confidence and just crushing full.
Feels like a different team, and this is, of course, one of the dirtier plays coming out from Agilities. I mean, sure, it's Nano Boost Reaper, but it was still a really well done Nano Boost Reaper, especially because it's not the easiest to get those setups always where you want them at higher level play, but Kingdom, it just, honestly, it felt like they ran out of gas.
I mean, Agility's gotten in the groove last few matches, so I think that Immortals, maybe losing out at the beginning of the winner's bracket, has been able to play a bunch of games now in losers and really been able to warm up, and I expect these grand finals to be really good. Actually, another good performance though from Kingdom. They should be very happy with getting third place among a lot of other larger names, so to speak, is considering the esports and how big some of these orgs are. I expect one team to be kicked off soon enough and Kingdom to be signed to a larger org if this continues.
I fully agree there, but I mean, Kingdom, they are an organization, but we've seen a lot in Overwatch where with all the money that's coming into the scene, with all the big shots moving in, it's difficult for startup teams to really keep their teams. I mean, you take a look at what happened with Even Creation, which was picked up by Dignitas. Now, of course, that org has definitely had some issues with continued success, but they were one of the last teams remaining that was sort of homegrown, and they got swallowed up. So for Kingdom, it's still a really good showing for them. They've been impressive. They're clearly fan favorites. They do go down here, but what a show they put on.
It's look great. The economics of it right now are just that 1 year into Overwatch, competitive nature and organizations getting into it is that it's very difficult to hold on to some of the players that you have on your team. And even if you're an org, hopefully they're under contract so that if Kingdom does get approached by someone, at least they can turn a tidy profit for believing in these guys early on, giving them the support that they needed early on. And yeah, this Kingdom team has looked really good. And I don't think it's the last we've heard of it, but I'm just kind of stunned by how strong Immortals looked. Just
well, what the Kingdom should be concerned